Welcome to the Courage to Live podcast. My name is Josh Bitsko. I'm a retired police captain with 24 years of experience out of Las Vegas. Currently, I travel the country and I teach people about courage, resilience, and leadership. In today's podcast, we're going to talk about where do you find joy at different stages in your career. So, speaking from personal experience, all I ever wanted to be was a police officer. And when I was a police officer, there were a couple things that I found value in that gave me joy in my professional life. The first one was finding bad people and taking them to jail. Now, it's not very black and white. It's not always good guys versus bad guys. There are people out there that make mistakes, that you have to make an arrest, and it's not like you're taking a completely evil person off the streets. But there are times in my career when you encounter somebody that is doing bad things and needs to get arrested. One example is I was a young cop. I was driving through an apartment complex, and I was at the back wall that butted up against a major road in Las Vegas. And somebody jumped over the wall and right in front of my patrol car. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time, saw me and took off running, which in Nevada is reasonable suspicion to stop somebody. So as I get out of my car, I hear a tone alert. Somebody called 911. On the other side of the wall, somebody had assaulted, beat up an elderly woman and took all of her jewelry. And the description was the guy that was running from me. So I chase him, end up going around a corner, end up getting him into custody. He had all of her jewelry on her. And, there's a few moments in policing where you just knew that you made the community a better place by arresting this person. And he had several priors for robberies before where he'd done the same thing. And he ended up going to prison for this. And so early in my career, that's where I found value. That's where I found joy. But as I continued to promote, the further I promoted, the more removed I came from the operational side of policing. As a sergeant, you're still kind of a cop. You're still out there. You can arrest people. But then as you continue to promote, and by the time you're a lieutenant, you're really just, administrator dressed like a cop. The closest you get is being like an incident commander on a large event or something along those lines. So as I continued to grow as a leader, I had to change not my values necessarily, but what I received joy from. And I learned pretty quickly that I really enjoyed mentoring the people that worked for me. They always say you have a 10-person team, the bottom couple, you're always having to like kick metaphorically to get them to do their job and nudge them to work. Then you have the ones in the middle that do their job. They're not really doing anything extra, but they show up and do what they need to do. Then you have some of those top performers. Well, finding in those middle two groups, or the top performers in the middle group, the people that, have a drive to be more or to be better, I really enjoyed putting my time and effort into those people that worked for me and see them flourish throughout their career. And I can look at, where I used to work, my old police department, and see people that have promoted to some of the highest ranks of the police department, gone to specialized units to do what they loved, and seen them really flourished. And, they did the work and they, put in the time and the effort and all of that to improve themselves. But I can always look on that with pride that I had a small part in their success. So every time that, I would go to a new squad, I would go, have even a station that worked for me, I would take time to identify those people that wanted to grow and then use my experiences and what I've been trained in and, what I know about the department or the agency to help those people out and watch them continue to grow. And so having that mindset, it really gave me joy in my job when things changed and I was no longer operational. And now currently in retirement where I don't even dress like a cop anymore. I get to travel and teach based on my experiences and what I know. And that's rewarding in its own sense. So throughout the different phases of my professional life and my personal life, what I sought joy in changed. And it was important for me not to hold on to those old patterns and change with my situation and my experience. So ask yourself that today. What in your current role could you do to find joy? And it may not be readily apparent, but if you're in a leadership position, helping those around you, pushing forward the mission of the company or the agency or wherever it is you're working, but taking those little things can really change how you perceive your job. Because the more that you enjoy your job, the less it feels like work and the less impact it has on you in a negative way. Thank you for listening today. I really appreciate you spending time with me. If you enjoyed the podcast, please share it with a friend or subscribe or leave a review. Have a good day.